Hey everybody, it's Daniel here from Dan Has Fun. Doing something kind of different, but kind of the same, really, for anybody that knows anything about what I've done in the past. So, just a bit of a lesson, really, just a bit of a quick story from the past, I guess. So, 15 years-ish or so ago, this used to be the type of content I would do a lot. You know, I would talk about Pokemon, play a lot of Pokemon, especially Pokemon Battle Revolution. But I thought, you know, at the moment, Europa Universalis 4 is going on as the main video series. It's a pretty heavy, intense strategy game. Do we need something to kind of contrast that a bit? So I kind of looked through what I had done historically and tried to think if there was some type of kind of twist we could do on things. And I did come up with an idea. So, in my own humble opinion, and it is only an opinion, Generation 4 Pokemon games were the best that they ever got to. Now, we'll see what happens in Gen 9. Not very hopeful, but you never know. But up until part of it now, I would say Generation 4's got the best variety of, best overall game experience, I guess, for lack of a better term. Did help that it was supplemented with Pokemon Battle Revolution. But I do believe the main Generation 4 mainline games were the best. You are fully entitled to have a different opinion to me. You probably do. Good. If we all like the exact same thing, world would be a boring place. But I didn't just want to play through a Generation 4 game like normal, because, well, anybody can do that, right? So I wanted something where I could kind of play it somewhat casually, but have a different experience to normal. So what I thought I would do, and I went through, as you can see on the screen right now, the Pokemon database website, just PokemonDB. I wanted to find the 6 worst Pokemon and use them. Now, worst is clearly a subjective term. I'm going to go by base stats, but with one caveat. I'm not going to be using more than one Pokemon of the same type. So what that means, for example, as we look at this list, Kricketot, we were going to use. It's the worst for base stats by a country mile, base total of 194. It's absolutely the worst. No stat that it has is any good. I mean, its highest base stat is 41. Horrendous. Next up would be Happiny. Happiny is, well, 26 total greater, but all of it comes pretty much in HP and a reasonable but not spectacular special defense. It's terrible at everything else, in terms of its stats, anyway. We'll talk about other things afterwards, but in terms of its stats, terrible. We can't pick a Burmy because Kricketot is a bug type, so we get to skip them. Kind of a shame, because it'd be nice because, it evolves into a bug plus a other type. You get to pick to a degree. So that would have been cool, but no, that's not how it's gone. Can't have Combi for the same reason it's a bug type. So, as initially I thought, oh good, I could use a Starly. Nope, Happany's a normal type, so we've got to skip that too. We can't have Bidoof, although I'm sure we'll be using a HM slave Bidoof at some point. Shinx. A lot of people will use this in-game. It actually surprised me how poor its total of 263 really is. Now don't get me wrong, compared to a Kricketot, that's absolutely fantastic. But Shinx has a reasonable attack, but everything else is quite poor. So we'll take one along for the ride. We're also going to be able to take a Cherubi. I have never used a Cherubi in-game before in any Pokemon game, so I'm looking forward to it. It's got okay special attack, pretty poor everything else. Can't use Bidoof because it's part grass. So we've then got Chingling next in the list. Chingling, again, has okay special attack and everything else is pretty poor. It's actually got a very similar stat composition to Cherubi. It's got 10 total increase in base stats over Cherubi, but its layout's very similar. And then I was amazed that the next Pokemon on the list is actually Riolu. So I get to use a Riolu in a run-through of bad Pokemon. Didn't think that was going to happen. It's got a base 70 attack, which is reasonably good for an unevolved Pokemon. Base 60 speed's okay. Everything else kind of sucks, but it's just a glass cannon, right? Sorry, Bonsly, we just missed out on your base 10 speed shenanigans. Oh well. So we do have 6 Pokemon. I want to talk about them a little bit and how I'm going to set this up, because Again, we want to make this a bit more interesting just for viewing experience, and frankly, I don't want to use 6 Pokemon that all just use Tackle all the time either. So I gave myself a rule. Given we have 6 Pokemon, we can have a maximum of 6 egg moves. So an egg move, just for somebody that's not in the loop, is that it's a move that it can't normally learn, but it can learn it through its parents when they breed to create the Pokemon. So Cricketop, for example, if we go, actually, we're going to go into Bulbapedia. I'm going to use a couple different websites just so you can see what options we've got. It doesn't have any bug moves, any egg moves. It doesn't really have any bug moves either. But egg moves, it is horribly, horribly lacking, so we're not going to get any egg moves there. Happiny, we are going to take an egg move. Make sure that if you're doing something similar to this, by the way, switch everything to Generation 4, because all these websites default to the most recent generation, so do keep that in mind. It's very sad, because you get to see all these great moves you think you can use, and then you realise in Gen 4, most of them are not on the table. We're going to grab an egg move, we're going to take Counter, and it comes from a Breloom. You'll see why. Shinx, we are going to take Ice Fang, and that comes from a variety of Pokemon. Although there's a lot of Pokemon in this egg group, so they tend to share quite a lot of moves. Cherubi, we are going to take Nature Power, just because it's fun. I don't think that one's particularly good. It's not like Ice Fang, where it gets, you know, really good coverage for an electric type. This is more just because it's fun and it has a varying effect. Chingling gets 2 egg moves. It's going to take the one Cricketop would have taken. So we're actually going to give it Hypnosis and Dream Eater. The Ghastly family, the Ralts family, and Spiritomb can make that happen. So we're going to have a nice combination off the get-go for Chingling. And finally, Riolu actually has a lot of very, very interesting egg moves. I'm deciding to go with Blaze Kick, which he gets from a Hitmonlee or a Blaziken. Just because we don't really have any other way of getting a Fire-type move. Cherubi can't learn Weather Ball. In Platinum, it's only Heart Gold, Soul Silver. So it doesn't have that option for an egg move. So that's what we're going to use there. Just thought I'd also talk about it, just because before we start we might as well see it. This weird looking graph. So if we click on it and open it up, and can we make that a little bit bigger? There we go. Not all Pokemon level up the same way. So when you play a game normally, and you pick a, whatever starter it is, Turtwig, Piplup, that's a mixture of both this evolution together, and Chimchar, they are in the group where they get a lot of experience very early on and level up very, very quickly. We have Pokemon that are in the fast group, the medium fast group, and the medium slow group. Medium slow group has that very interesting start. Put it that way. The fast group is going to be nice because it just takes a little bit less experience than normal. Medium slow takes a lot of experience originally, but then it really drops off a cliff, which is what the starters usually are. So by the time they get to about level 5, which is here, they start to really gain experience very, very quickly for a bit before flattening out. And then medium fast is pretty much just the standard group, where it's just in the middle and it roughly stays in the middle the whole time. We don't have to deal with erratic, slow, or fluctuating, thank goodness. Especially fluctuating. You level up really, really quickly originally, and then you just become painfully slow at leveling up later. Whereas erratic's the exact opposite. It's like pulling teeth at the start of a game, but the amount of experience you need towards the end is relatively tiny. Not that we're expecting to get to this part of the graph. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a pause in the video, and we're going to flip over, and you're going to see a different screen in just a moment. Be right back. And welcome back again. So, you're going to be able to see on the screen, here are the 6 Pokemon. I did use Pokegen to put them in. I actually own 2 physical... I owned 2 physical copies of Pokemon Platinum, but you don't want to look at a webcam staring at a DS screen. That would be properly old school. I actually had one of my versions stolen by a former friend of mine, and they never even admitted that they did it, even though it was very brazen. What are you going to do? Anyway, we're using an Xbox controller just plugged into the laptop. Pretty standard fare for streamers, I'm sure, but for me, well, I don't stream, so I wanted to point it out. I also wanted to show the overall movesets that we have to work with. So, Cricket-Top, called it Patience, although honestly it's going to be more like a hospital patient. Didn't min-max every stat or ability or things like that. In Pokegen you can randomize your IVs, so I just did that until it looked okay for the Pokemon. I feel thematically the Impish fits a Cricket-Top. It's special attack down, defense up, which is okay for it. It wouldn't be using its special attack anyway. It only has one ability in the form of Shed Skin. It's all it can get. Pretty poor stats across the board. Its defenses are, for this stage of the game, okay. We are going to let them evolve. We're not going to keep a Cricket-Top until the end, because we're going to let these Pokemon that are typically pretty bad grow and show that they're not completely terrible. That's the plan. So that's how we're going to go. But yeah, moveset, atrocious. Bide and Growl. It has no direct damage dealing move. So that's going to be fun. Oh well, that's what we signed up for. Next we have our Happiny, Scramble. Clearly egg related, right? This is the Pokemon in the fast group, so thank goodness it will level up a bit more efficiently. It's quirky. That's just a neutral nature. It doesn't change stats at all. I just feel like it would fit a Pokemon that looks like that, so that's why we picked it. Has a load of hit points, so it starts with 25, which is going to be way more than anybody else, but every other stat besides special defense, absolutely terrible. Serene Grace, though, good ability. Not that we can use it right now. Charm and Pound is what it starts off with by default. But yeah, we have counter too, so if we get hit by a physical move, we can dish it back for twice as much damage as we take. We're going to take a lot of physical damage. It's got a defense of 6. Next up, we have the Shinx, called Maple, named after our cat that we thought was a girl and was orange and jokingly called Catnadian. And then we found out he was a boy, and now he hates us. We have 3 cats, and that one despises us, I'm pretty sure. It is adamant, kind of fits his personality more than anything else. Intimidate is most of the time the better ability. Shinx can either have that, where it reduces an opponent's attack, or it can have Rivalry, where if the Pokemon it's facing is the same gender as it, gets more attack itself. I feel like we need Intimidate to help protect our other terrible Pokemon. But yeah, it's all attack, and everything else is pretty poor. In terms of moves, it only starts with Tackle. So yes, thank goodness we have another move to work with. Cherubi, we call it Grapes. I'm sure it's not actually grapes. I'm sure it's cherries, but you know, it's going to be the grapes of wrath, right? That's the hope. But it's naive. Just look at its silly little face. It has no idea what it's doing. It has no clue. It only gets one ability, where it just doubles its speed in the sun. Its stats, like I said, its special attack's alright. It actually has okay defense, considering the stage of the game, you know, right at the start. And then, yeah, it also only starts with Tackle normally. Probably because you're not meant to get it at level 5. I've just put all the Pokemon to level 5 because that's the level your starter is when you get it. I've skipped that bit for you, by the way. We don't have to watch the opening 2 minutes of the game. I just skipped it and had the Turtwig beat the Chimchar that I made the AI pick. The rival, I wanted to have a Infernape at the end because I think it's the most dangerous one for our team to face. It's more difficult. But yeah, Nature Power is a weird move. Does different things depending on where you are located in the world at the time. And I do not remember all the effects, so we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And then we have our Chingling, which I've just named Cheese. I don't know, maybe it's just the colour, maybe it's just that I'm hungry, who knows. But, you know, he's a small little bell, so I think timid is appropriate. Although it also likes to thrash about, apparently. That's just due to the IVs. You get a little piece of information like that. It only has one ability as well, Levitate. Just doesn't get hit by ground-type moves. Can be very, very helpful, actually. Its stats are very similar in many ways to Cherubi, actually, when you look at it. It's just slightly quicker. But that's because of the timid element, I guess. Although they both have speed-up natures. But yes, normally it starts with Rap. Which, well, the word that rhymes with it is very appropriate for that move. Generation 1, Rap was broken. In generations afterwards, it was just made to be worthless. Big old shame. Yeah, we will probably not be using Rap often. And then finally, I did make it shiny because I was amazed I was even going to be able to use one of these in a game. So Riolu, that I've just called Boofruff. If you're like me and you just start making weird noises and weird sounds and weird nicknames for your pets, that's just what I did there. It just felt right. That's what we went with. He's going to have to be pretty serious, though, because the rest of the teams are full of, a bunch of jokers, right? Neutral nature, not so great, but it feels appropriate. Giving it inner focus, both its abilities are related to flinching. So inner focus just prevents flinching. Its other ability means if it gets flinched, its speed goes up. I think this is slightly better. And then, yeah, it's pretty much got Shinx-esque stats. Very, very similar, actually. It starts with 3 moves at level 5. Quick Attack, Endure, and Foresight. Quick Attack is the only priority move we're probably ever going to have. At least for a very long time, so that'll be very helpful. And then, yes, Blaze Kick is that egg move here. It's not 100% accurate, and I'm sure it will miss in all the important situations. But it's 85 base power. It's really quite good, and it can burn. And there aren't... In terms of fire-type attacks that are physical attacks, obviously there's Flare Blitz, which is very, very strong, but it's recoil. This is better than Fire Punch-ish. It's close. Fire Punch is less strong, but more accurate. So it's in that realm. I would definitely say it's better than Fire Fang, though, which Shinx has the ice version of. Don't get me wrong, this could have been Fire Fang. It does learn it as an egg move. But we want to have some type variety. Because, Scramble might have a great move pool, but most of these Pokemon leave quite a bit to be desired on the move pool stakes. And this is Generation 4. TMs are single usage. So we do have to be very, very careful. The other thing that really is very unfortunate, actually, we'll cover it just before we keep going. When you have a starter normally, it will evolve somewhere in the mid to late teens, and then again in the early to mid 30s into its final evolution. We're not going to have that luxury here, so Kricketot evolves very, very early. It evolves at level 10, which sounds great in theory, right? If you evolve it at level 10, you will never learn Bug Bite, which is a very important move for it. So we're going to have to keep this guy a Kricketot until probably level 16. And it won't get an attacking move until then. It's going to suck. Meanwhile, Scramble can only be, I nearly said upgraded. I mean, it's technically true. It can only be evolved with an item that we cannot get until 3rd, 4th gym time. So that's not going to happen anytime soon. And then it evolves with Happiness after that. Yay. All these Pokemon have been set to default Happiness, by the way. I haven't cheesed the system there. Luckily, our Shinx does follow very similar level up and evolution rules to a starter, so we're good there. Pretty sure Cherubi evolves in the mid-20s, late 20s, in that ballpark. It's just a regular evolution, so that's okay. I want to say that Chingling evolves due to Happiness, but only at a certain time. I think it's at night time, which is going to be a complete conflict to Riolu that only evolves through Happiness during the day. So yes, 3 of these 6 Pokemon can't get to their end stage evolution without Happiness, and every time they faint, they're going to lose Happiness. It's gonna go great. Anyway, let's stop talking, and what we want to do, and we can run. You get the running shoes really early in this game, thank goodness. Is we're going to go with our rival to the lake. We're not going to listen to all the text. I am not going to read all this game's text, don't worry. I'm sure everybody and their mothers have either played this, or if you're significantly younger than me, which isn't hard to do on YouTube now, 29. 29 years of age. Yeah, at least you might have played the remake Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl. I put it in inverted commas because it's not really a remake, it's just the same blooming game as Diamond and Pearl. That's faithful, and then there's just copy and pasting everything. I'm sure I could make a video about that by itself. A bit like the, you know, Dan waffles about Mario Golf and its issues. I'm sure I could do a Dan waffles about, you know, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl and what on earth went wrong in 2021. I'm sure we could do it. Do we want to keep our cricketer up front? No, that's going to be painful for now. I guess what we'll do for the time being is... let's put our Cherubi up front. I have made it so that the text is quicker than normal. I mean, does anybody not speed the game chat text up to fast? We are going to have animations because, well, we might as well. They're pretty good. This was the first generation, I think, where the actual animations got fairly good. Generation 3s were okay in pieces, but not great. I just want to see what this turns into. Okay, it turns into Seed Bomb. Not going to be very effective against this Starly, but it's a pretty good move. You get same type of attack bonus. I mean, it's grass. Shame that that's going to reduce my attack, though. Anyway, we'll take this out while we're at it. But yeah, there's a lot of things to consider in this game. Now, whether we'll end up being able to, well, we should be able to beat the champion. That's the, I mean, we're going to be letting these Pokemon evolve, so I certainly hope that I'm able to do it. But yeah, how these videos are going to, you know, kind of come together, I guess, for lack of a better term, is I'm pretty much just going to play it for a block of time. I'll put some cuts in just so we can split them up into regular-sized episodes. And honestly, at that point, you know, we can just kind of do things as they go. We'll upload them just to fill the different time slots. I know we have Europa Universalis, like I said, running on for quite a long time. That series will go for a long time. That is a long, long game. So we are certainly going to let that go. We're going to put this in bits and pieces as well. It's just a bit lighter. Like I said, lighter. We don't have to worry so much about it. I'm kind of just relaxing, talking any old prattle that comes to mind. I guess the game ROM is going to work based on the time that it is for me, so it's early evening, hence the kind of orangey background there. We're just going to skip that for now. Yes, go to a Pokemon Center if our health is low. All the standard things. Oh, and there's a Bidoof. Like I said, I'm sure when it comes to HMs, because this is, you know, this is still an older game, so this was a game where you needed hidden machines to get through. You would have noticed we don't have a water type, which I was very surprised by. I was sure there was going to be a water type in the list based on base stat total, but not the case, clearly. So we don't have a Pokemon that can surf or use waterfall. I'm sure one of them, you know, a couple of them can use strength. Whether we'll want to teach them that or not, or use HM Slave, though, not really sure. We can't use Fly, which was really the main sadness why, you know, that we couldn't use Starly. I know it's arbitrary, but I'm just going to try and go by my own rules. We're not going to use items in battle or anything like that. Held items, sure. But actual, you know, we're not going to go in and use full restores or max revives or anything like that mid-battle. Just feels kind of lame when you do that. So we're definitely not going to do any of those things. We're not going to use, you know, big evasion related. You know, using double team over and over and over again is not a skill based strategy, right? Anybody can just make themselves impossible to hit and do whatever they want. Having said that, I am probably going to be using Chingling's Hypnosis pretty aggressively, just because, well, our main issue early game here is that we're going to have a real lack of firepower against bulky targets. We're going to really struggle. The back, I just didn't even realize either, that Cherubi's back sprite there, the cherry at the back, I don't know if that's a face of I am in extreme pain, or they're kind of just in extreme comfort. I don't know, maybe I'm just bad at reading faces, but I can't tell. Oh dear, dear. Again, I've never used the Cherubi in game. That's why I've started off using it, because it's fun to use. And if I started off by using Cricketop, we would be still 10 minutes later on the same route. Yep, see you later. Bye, Z's. Yes, our friend is rather impatient. And we get to go inside, and I get to take a drink while Professor... is this Rowan? Just does a whole lot of talking. No voice acting, though, obviously. I was curious what he would say. Yeah, entrusting you with that cherubi, mate. No mistake. We've already given it a nickname. All the talking, but there's no voice acting. Yeah, apparently his name is Rowan. I was right. A lot of the, especially modern day professors, just don't seem to really have any personality at all. I mean, Kukui, or Cookie, he does, but his personality is that he's a really, really bad wrestler and really, really bad at hiding it. But yeah, a lot of Pokemon games aren't renowned for their depth. Or at least depth of characters. Shame, really. I'm sure there's kind of a really nigh on infinite amount of lore that they could go for if they wanted to, but... oh well, what are you going to do? I wonder if I'll be able to... I've never actually had 6 Pokemon, for obvious reasons, when it comes to the catching tutorial, which we're going to come into in a minute. I wonder if we're going to be able to skip it. This isn't one of those games where they give you free Pokeballs. I haven't actually played a Gen 4 Pokemon game in a long, long time. But we do get TM27. That's nice. Contains return. We're not going to be using it for a long time. It does more damage the happier the Pokemon is. Considering how much fainting I anticipate is going to happen here, they're probably not going to be all that happy. And thank goodness we can fast forward. It doesn't fast forward by a huge amount. So anybody that's played a ROM for like a Game Boy Advance on Visual Boy, you would be like amazed you can fast forward 4 or 5 times. We don't have that here. Okay, so that was a lot of talking. I'm pretty sure you don't give us anything, but I believe there is an item down here. Yes, there is. Yeah, an antidote. That's fine. It's free. And I'm also pretty sure if we now go back up and try to... actually, I'm just going to go in the Pokemon Center. But I'm pretty sure if we try and go up to the patch of grass above, Dawn's going to be like, hey, I'm certainly going to help you, but you're meant to go say bye to your mom. Don't just disappear and then never say anything again. This isn't like Gen 2 where... you know, she calls you every 30 seconds to say, you know, she's spending your money on Snorlax plushes. She's a bit less hands-holdy, this mum. I don't... yeah, she won't let us skip it, even with a full set. That's fine. We'll go say hi to our mum and then say hi, bye. So let's quickly get that out of the way. I guess on the way down, I'm going to show you. I'm going to put Kricketot up front. I'm going to show you some of the pain on the way back as to how difficult it is going to be. We can't at least jump down this ledge, which apparently they needed the person to tell us. Oh, last tile. That's always the way. Final tile. Okay, so this is where the fun's going to come in. So we have, like I said, 2 moves. We have Bide and we have Growl. Let's say we use Bide. So we have to wait and hope that Starly does damage to us. It using Growl on us does genuinely nothing because we don't have an attack. We're still storing energy. It does hit us with Tackle. It does 3 damage. So we're going to do 6 back. And we're going to have to rinse and repeat. Oh, poor Kricketot. It's such a bad Pokemon. They could have at least given it, you know, Leech Life to start with. It does get Leech Life as a level up move when it, you know, when it evolves into Kricketune, but it doesn't get it as a Kricketot. Apparently it's just not allowed to be able to do any type of attack. It doesn't get Tackle, it doesn't get Pound. None of those things. You may notice the other problem here with relying on Bide. penny dropped? Not yet. Apparently I'm getting a text message on my phone. That can wait until later. But yes, we are on 8 hit points. So we lost 60% of our health to take out a level 3 Starly incredibly slowly. So if we want to level that up without just switching in and out, it's going to take an absolute eternity. So we can look forward to that, I guess. Get a free heal. Yes, we're leaving. I know. Thank you for the journal, Mother. I will use that lots. She wants to see what we've caught. I mean, we've already got 6 different Pokemon. You should be super proud of us, but no. We also called our rival Zippy. And he only has 1 personality trait throughout this game, and you've already seen it, so... He's impatient and fast. Okay, maybe he has 2 traits if you count it. I would say it's just 1, but you know, who knows. We have to take a map to him. So, because I appreciate your time more than you probably think, I'm not going to put this Kricketot up front yet. I promise. We're going to put the Riolu up front. We haven't even spoken about the first gym leader yet. But he's a rock-type user, and you may have noticed that unless we have Seed Bomb, which we will not have it through Nature Power in the gym, I can tell you that much, we don't actually have a super effective move. Nor do we actually have a special type super effective move, which will make that extra bad. But we'll see. Yeah, I love that Riolu in that colour. It is a thing of beauty. I do not have one. I do play Pokemon Go quite a bit as well. Not to an obsessive degree or anything. If anybody ever wants, you know, my Pokemon Go code or anything, I guess I'll put it in the description maybe if I remember. If I don't, somebody put it in the comments if you want it. I will probably forget, I'll be completely honest. But I'll try not to. No promises. But yeah, it's something I don't have a shiny Riolu. Just never happened. Then again, it's a hard Pokemon to get even not shiny because it was from, you know, eggs, right? And I'm sure as heck not spending hundreds of dollars on incubators to hatch more eggs. That's just a loot box in disguise. No, thank you. Okay, so we did finally get through. I'm not going to heal, we don't need to. Dawn, I finally said bye to my mum. Will you finally let me do things? Okay, the answer is no, we can't skip this, even though we have an entire full party of Pokemon. Alright, fine. So, in case you've been living under a rock for the last 25 years, or however long it's been since the first Pokemon game came out, something like that, this is how you catch Pokemon. Why is this unskippable? I do not understand why this is unskippable. Yes, I know, use a Pokeball, it's okay. Please, for the love of God, use the ball. Why is this even so slow? I'm just thinking somebody with their DS like this would be like, do I want to use the ball? Maybe. I know they're catering to younger audiences, but young kids aren't as dumb as you think they are. Having said that, when I first got a Pokemon game, I was 6 years old, so 23 years ago. It was Pokemon Yellow. I loved it because it was the first game where you could have a Pokemon follow you, because obviously Pikachu tacked along unless you traded him and have had someone evolve it into a Raichu for you. Which eventually happened, but, you know, Pikachu's cute. Useless, but cute. So I didn't, you know, go out of my way to get that to happen. But the first time Pikachu got poisoned, obviously, you know, when you're out of the battle, you hear that kind of you see that little, almost like a static sound as it does 1 damage as you walk. But as a kid, I thought that was the game breaking, so I was very close to getting my parents to drive me back to Toys R Us to try and get an associate to fix it. And I only worked out what the problem was like 5 minutes before we got in the car. And it's not just a case of, oh, Toys R Us, it's just down the road. No, it was a completely different city. It was like a 45-minute drive each way. So I'm sure they would have been absolutely thrilled if we ended up going for an associate to say, yeah, that's meant to happen. Our Riolu can learn counter. I mean, we're going to get rid of Foresight. Foresight is only useful when you don't have an egg move, because then you can hit ghosts with normal type moves. But by the time you actually get ghost type Pokemon in this game, that is completely unnecessary. I guess just so we can see different Pokemon, let's get Scramble up front. Scramble's not going to enjoy having a Shinx to deal with. Bidoof, it might be a bit better with. Because effectively, Happiny is just slightly better Kricketot, because yes, it also has counter, but it can use an attacking move of its own. It's just not going to do very much damage, as you see there. Whereas Bidoof's tackle does 4, so it's actually a lot more effective to use counter. And will do a lot more damage than our tackle ever could, or our pound, I should say. I might be able to take that out. Yeah, and I go first. Counter has negative priority, so if you're wondering why did Bidoof get to go first, that's why. But that went a lot better than when Kricketot tried to do it, didn't it? And we're going to get into our very first trainer encounter. You're a Pokemon trainer, and so am I. Our eyes met, so battle we must, because that is the law in Pokemon games. You see a person, battle has to happen. All the time. Which makes you wonder how every trainer's got full health on everything. All the time. Don't think about it. So, yeah, I was pretty sure Starly's going to outspeed our Scramble, and we're going to use Charm, just so I don't just die in one more hit. We are going to use Counter, and that will do nothing, because it growled me, which is fine. I guess we'll switch then. Have it your way, this is Burger King. And we might as well get our Shinx out, because we haven't used our Shinx yet either. We can spread some of the love. And Intimidate is going to be great for this team. It's going to really soften the opponents a little bit for us. Especially if we do have, well, 2 users of Counter right now. And we actually have a super effective move. It's just not same type. Oh, it was a crit. I was going to say that was a lot of damage, but it was a critical hit. I'm not sure if that would have killed in one hit otherwise. But we split our experience, so neither will level up. That's fine. Too strong, too strong. We're going to have to switch Scramble so it doesn't get mangled. Let's put our Kricketot up front. It'll probably have to switch out, but we'll give it a chance. Yeah, because there's another trainer before another patch of grass anyway. I spy with my little eye a trainer. Battle, please. Lass Natalie. And she has the old big doofer. Big doofs. He's adorable. I like him. We're just going to use Bite and hope we don't die. I know it's a very high octane strategy. That Bidoof at level 5 probably has 21 or 22 hit points, so we're going to need him to do more than that to us. But again, that's a shame that, well, we just took 4 damage and we can't buy that back. And I'm pretty sure buy can last 2 to 3 turns at random. So it's very hard to predict around too. Well, we're going to finally defeat a Pokemon, though. Hooray! We took out a Pokemon the same level. Go Patient. I will say that's one thing about the newish at this point, I guess, Diamond and Pearl reconstitution. When something goes into red health, you don't hear it constantly over and over and over and over and over and over again. I'm amazed it took them that long to put it together, but I'm very grateful that they stopped doing that. Because that sucked. That sounds terrible. So bad. We put our Chingling up front just so you can see something different as well. I'm actually going to let that one run away. I'm just going to make sure I stay on full health, because I'm pretty sure there's another trainer up here. Yeah, there is. Let's have a Pokemon battle, but I'm going to win. I think you'll find that I'm actually going to win. Even with our ragtag team of rubbish. But again, we have 6 Pokemon right now, right? So it doesn't... We're going to outnumber everybody significantly. And he has a Burmy. We were going to try and use you, but we weren't allowed because of my own arbitrary rules. And we've already missed with Hypnosis. So Hypnosis, it only has 60% accuracy. So you're going to see it miss a lot. And now Burmy is asleep. Pokemon cannot wake up the exact same turn they've been put to sleep, which is nice. And we get to use Dream Eater, which is by far and away the strongest move we have right now. But obviously it only works when a Pokemon is asleep. Yeah, it nearly one-tapped that Burmy. Burmy's kind of cute. Really, really bad. But I think it's kind of cute. Pretty sure it's Pokemon X and Y where you can get Burmy really, really early on anyway. It's not worth using. It's a real slog. It is slow and its move pool is pretty poor. Alright. Pretty sure you're not a trainer. Yep. Some Pokemon only appear in the morning. Some come out at night. I am not going to be fanning about with the time on my own computer. So we're just going to get whatever it is we're going to get. And we're just going to deal. We're just going to leave that Shinx alone. The competitive battle in my mind sometimes takes over because I'm like, oh, Shinx gives effort values in attack. I don't want a special attacking Pokemon to get those. And then I have to go back and think, this is just a casual game. Settle down. And we made it. We made it to Jubilife. And Dawn is going to talk to us some more. Yes, we already have 6 Pokemon. I know, we did so much catching. We're not going to be doing a lot of Pokemon catching. We'll probably catch the Legendary because it's fun to do so. We'll be getting a HM Slave. That will probably be about it, honestly. And we finally get to meet Looker. This is the first game I believe that Looker is in. And his music is awesome. Sorry. Yes. Your cover has been blown because you came from a lamppost right across and just said hi. No, I'm going to claim not to know it. He does a lot of talking in clumps, so you don't actually have to talk to Looker very often in this game, but when you do, he talks a lot. And he gave us a Versus recorder. We're not going to be using the Versus recorder. Yes, I know, you're on duty. We will see you again. Tell you are bad guys, but don't inform you. Don't talk to you, but tell me when bad people show up. He's the best. Best at his job. Yes, the trainer school's on the left. We will probably go there. I'm pretty sure there's a couple of trainers in this game that are actually in there, which we will definitely go and hopefully beat up without dying too many times. We will see. Thank you for watching the video.